I'm thinking even in terms of CTL. Like I'm trying to remember the last time I saw Deadwing.
Yeah, I think the CSL it's on what is it? They've changed over to the new ladder pool, so that much is for sure. Is your mic a bit quieter than usual?
I'm sitting further away.
Oh, maybe that's it. Okay. All right. Well, let's just get started, I guess. Praying for no elongated Roach versus Roach, and I think this was pre-Swarm Host change as well, so fingers crossed no late game. Oh, and lots of Ling Bailing from you all. 9 pools. Everyone loves 9 pools. I love 9 pools.
I forgot that change went live.
Yeah, it's now a thing. Our Team Zerg chat room is all wondering how you beat anything now.
Wait for Legacy of the Void and drop
Yeah.
lurkers on their base.
Yep. No lurkers in this game, sadly.
Alright, well, starting in the top right corner, we have from Team UnRivaled, it is Xylo. And spawning in the bottom left, we have Einherjar.
I like how they picked basically the identical color. This is going to be great. They have the identical colors nearly with the stronger team colors on, so it'll be pink banelings on purple banelings. This is fantastic.
It's gonna be a Barbie world.
I had forgotten about that song. Oh dear.
They don't play that at college parties where you come from?
That would require me going to a college party to find out.
Ah.
Well, what do we have? No 9 pools. I'm already disappointed.
And they're both scouting vertically, so pretty mirrored for a mirror matchup.
Yeah, they're both gonna have the fear of God in them for about the next minute or so if they don't see each other's overlords by their own overlords. So they're wondering, oh God, is he cheesing me? Please don't cheese me, please don't cheese me, please don't cheese me. Luckily for both of them, neither is cheesing. But it's still going to be a scary minute or so, as actually, are we going to have a hatch first from either player?
Looks like we're getting a pool first from Ein, and hatch first from Xylo.
Looks like Xylo is going to get the slightly better end out of the opening here, and actually he's going hatch into gas, into the spawning pool after that, so it's going to be the potential for very fast speeding aggression off of this hatchery. Hopefully Einherjar is going to be fully prepared for this, as he is taking his own hatchery now a little bit later, but he's going to have the faster first queen out for that inject.
He's taking gas too, so it won't be too much further behind. And I feel like with the distance between the bases, with it being cross spawns, Ein would have time to prepare, assuming he scouts it.
Yeah, it's also up to Xylo to choose to use this aggressive opener in an aggressive way. He can just always throw down the speed in the bailing nest and chill out. Both players have now realised it's cross, as their overlords fly into either vertical main and see, oh, there's no creep there. Okay, well, it's going to be cross, so they're still kind of hoping there's no Zerglings that are going to just show up underneath the overlords in the middle of the map, but no aggression. For now.
The overlords are not going to case in the middle, that's disappointing.
It really is. Ein actually has the cooler overlord, he's got the whole antenna thing going on. Xylo choosing to use the vanilla.
I'm seeing that now. I thought they said skins were not the technology they had.
I mean, Blizzard say a lot of things, and they don't do a lot of those things, but soon TM, we will have skins, and I can put party hats on my overlords. Wouldn't that be the greatest thing ever?
It'd be something. It would be a thing.
It would definitely be a thing. Xylo is throwing down his speed. It's halfway done now, a lot faster than Ein's, given his faster gas, and he's got the bailing nest going down inside the main base, so that implies he wants to hide some aggression, especially keeping these Zerglings towards the ramp as well. With another 8 Zerglings coming out, actually, Xylo wants to get some aggression going pretty quickly in this game. But Ein has his own spine crawler building defensively in his natural, and I believe... Is that a third queen? It is a third queen. So he's ready for this.
Ein is taking no chances, throwing down a Baneling nest of his own. Now, I guess since... If Xylo's lings were already across the map, he might be a little bit more worried, but... Oh, Ein's gonna try and get the scout. It would be denied.
Well, he sees all of the Zerglings that Xylo has, and Ein's thinking, well, hang on a minute, I have drones, and you don't have drones in your natural, so you're definitely being aggressive here. So Ein's already got enough information, he's got 10 lings on the way, and actually he's building a drone as well, so feeling pretty comfortable here as he morphs in these two Banelings.
Yeah, he's definitely playing his cards close. It's going to be up to Xylo to send these lings across the map, which now they're going off. Is he taking a third behind this? Wow.
He is taking a fast third base. I wonder if that's just because he got supply blocks at 36, but either way, he definitely has the map control with the amount of speedlings he has. It's 24 speedlings versus 8. And I believe, does Ein have vision of this third base? Does. Okay.
Yes.
I think Ein's going to be a bit confused right now because he saw an aggressive opener just like we saw. But then there's just a very fast third behind it. So Ein is actually going to have the superior economy here. I wonder what Xylo's going to use this third for.
Oh, well, it could be a glorified macro hatch. Ein is actually going ahead and getting roaches while Xylo opts for the lair. So very different choices from our players here.
Might be a Musa opener from Xylo.
Wouldn't that require the double gases?
It would, but yeah, you want to hit the saturation point in your natural before you take those gases, and I mean Ein is doing a much better job of that right now as he gets another wave of drones down to his natural there. Actually, we have the double evos now for Xylo, so no Musas this game. It might even be a double upgrade Zergling style, which is pretty neat. We don't see a Roach Warren yet. Ein gets the scout on these evos, so he's going to be pleased.
Yep, and he gets the lair timing as well.
Yep. And it is going to be a double upgrade Roach here for Xylo. It's arguably a bit of a more old way of going about ZVZ. I think in ZVZ, the numbers of units you have is normally more important than the quality. Like, I'd much rather see +1 attack, and then 6 extra roaches instead of the carapace upgrade, because then you can just hit a timing before any of the upgrades even finish, and you just have 6 more roaches. And actually, Xylo was teching incredibly hard, getting the Hydralis down out at the same time. So Ein has definitely timing windows here when he can just have more stuff.
And Ein is going to go purely Roach by the looks of it, or he has yet to throw down a Hydra Dent of his own, so not quite the aggressive tech choices yet.
Yeah, it should be a long time before you throw down the Hydralis Den. It's pretty risky getting it fast. It's really assuming that Einherjar is just going to be droning up that third base very aggressively and not making any units. But he's got a large swell of units out on the map, and he's moving out, clearing out the watchtower, seeing what's up. Xylo is going to have some trouble. He's still building drones. He has 24 lings that he made at the start and didn't really use as well. So they're kind of useless Zerglings until now. But Ein already has his own Zerglings posturing. He has some Banelings already. This is going to hurt.
Yep, so I was morphing a couple of Banelings on his own, but it's not really going to do much with all these roaches.
Yeah, the Banelings just detonate on all of the Zerglings here. The Roaches are actually going to take a pretty large Baneling hit there, but Roaches don't really care about Banelings if there's nothing else to clean up, and Xylo's third is just going to kind of die here. There's no defense at all for Xylo. He's morphing in a few Roaches, but I don't think it's going to be enough. The army supplies really tell the tale here.
Yeah, 10 roaches are about to pop for Xylo versus what's already out, plus an additional 10 or 11 more from Ein.
Yeah.
That are just going to walk across the map.
I mean, Xylo does have better roaches. They're 1-1 upgraded with speed finish, and he has the Hydralis tech option as well, but this is what I was mentioning. If you just have more stuff, you're going to have likely a better time, and I think Ein is going to wrap this game up shortly as he's now doubling Xylo's supply, killing the drones, equaling the drone count now. GG. Alright, well played there by Ein. He takes the first map of this best of 9. We have for set 2 another ZV. Oh yes, of course, 4 ZVZs in a row. How could I forget? So the second ZVZ of today is going to be a Gold League ZVZ on Expedition Lost between Aquila and Picker from All Inspiration and Unrivaled respectively, and this looks to be a pretty even game. Both players are 3-2 in previous games this season.
Alright.
So I imagine it's just going to come down to how their particular styles of ZVZ clash with each other.
Yep. Wonder if we will see the 9 pools this time.
I mean, eventually.
Eventually.
Soon TM. Probably not that long, actually. Far too long.
3 more tries.
I know Aquila can defend 9 pools, but I've never actually heard of her doing it, so it'll have to be on side of Picker.
Alright, well we have spawning in the top, we have from Team Unrivaled, it is Picker. And spawning in the bottom, we have Aquila. And, oh, that was almost a drone pool.
I guess this Picker messed his drones up there. I was looking at the wrong base. I saw the action. Grub observer.
I got really excited, and then nothing happened.
I mean, I have seen a few people in CTL, not on our team, luckily, try a 12 drone rush. And funnily enough, it doesn't work. But I have seen a few people try it. I do it in team games if I'm going to do it.
Ah.
And then I've only done it once and stopped because it didn't work, so... Luckily, no 12 drone rushes, I hope. Yep, going up to 13, good. Sadly, no 9 pools, but hey. Eventually.
Eventually.
DVZ is bound to happen. We've got no craziness as well on this map. This map does have the opportunities to take a hatchery in the middle of the map if you're some kind of no-regret style Zerg, and like the aggressive Ling Bailing. You can do that. But looks like there'll be a gentleman's agreement so far this game. Likely pool first from both sides. Yeah.
Yep. Now do Zergs steal the gold base in ZVZ versus each other on this map?
They do if you're me and P. Sosa. I took his gold when I played him last. I don't think he took mine though. But that'd get really weird.
Could be fun.
Hatchery's gonna be going down now.
Yep. Both drones are there early.
Yep, better early than they're late, I guess. Or maybe being late, I don't know. Definitely safe openings from both sides. It's a best of 1 in maybe what's considered the most volatile matchup. I don't know anymore. It might be TVT, but it was always historically described as a knife fight, and in a best of 1 you probably don't want to die to something dumb, so I don't blame them going pool into hatch in the gas.
Yeah, I wonder what we are going to see this time out of both of our players, since they're both opening relatively safe.
Yeah, there's going to be the Zergling Scout here for Aquila, rallied across the map. Nothing of the sort from Picker, I guess. He doesn't particularly care what Aquila's doing, or maybe he's planning his own aggression anyway, so he doesn't care what Aquila's doing, because he'll be attacking regardless. But either way, there is going to be that extra drone for Picker, but Aquila's going to have that information. Safety that she knows she's safe.
She throws down the Baneling nest too. Could we be breaking the gentleman's agreement?
Possibly. I mean, this is Baneling Nest before speed, so it's not going to be a really fast aggression. It's probably just going to be, I don't want to die to anything dumb, so I'm going to get Banelings before I can even move out and attack myself. Banelings is more of a defensive thing this fast.
It looks like Picker has started his own speed as well.
Yeah, waiting for the Baneling Nest now to go down for Picker. There we go.
Right on schedule.
A little bit unusual just to go pure Zergling in DBZ. It's not unheard of, but you need to be confident in your control, and most players just prefer to have their own banelings and be equally bad at Ling Baneling micro. So tricky.
So we've got a difference in skins once again.
Yeah, Quilla with the... Actually, no, they both have the same Zergling skin, but I guess the Overlord skin, yeah. I mean, we are renowned for high-quality Zergs in this team, so gotta have that level 20 Overlord skin, otherwise you're not worth your weight, really. Looks like Aquila's planning some kind of attack here. She has a lot of Ling Baneling sat in her natural. Really put those to use, I think. I mean, Pika only has these 4 Lings, and Aquila knows about it.
Yeah, Keela is playing pretty safe, I'd say, leaving all of that at home. Maybe it's just not a very adventurous army.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen those be a little bit more aggressive. Maybe she could have got a few drones and equalized the drone count, as Pika has taken a quite nice drone lead here in around 10 or so.
Picker is also taking the gases at the natural and morphing into layers. This might be your mutas.
Yeah, I mean, you were wondering if it was going to be that last game, but then said no because there weren't the gases. But I guess we're just going to wait and see when this... There we go. There's the Spire. Well called. Spire... I really prefer being the Muta player than the Roach player in a Muta versus Roach situation. It's so awkward having Roaches that can't really do anything versus Mutas. But Aquila is preparing.
Yeah, she's taking spores. Was that blind spores? I don't know if she got the scout off on the lair, or maybe...
You saw the layer and 4 gases, so she's assuming, just like you assumed, that it's Spire. So, I think these are a little bit early, to be honest, and actually, yeah, she is still hurting in the drone count a little bit, but she's going to be safe from the mutas at least.
Yeah, although it will be hard to take a third base, at least until you get some kind of anti-air, be it more queens or a couple hydras.
You can spread this creep tumor out towards the third base, but I think it should have been spread a little bit sooner maybe, because I don't think there's going to be creep on the third base in time. Maybe she can move one of her overlords and drop creep there when her layer is done, but her layer is actually surprisingly late.
She does scout Picker taking his own third.
That's a little bit awkward in this scenario. Ideally, you'd like to be able to move out on the map and put pressure on it, but you're seeing a lot of Ling Baning here, and she's suspecting Spire already, so it's likely going to be the case that Picker will just have more Ling Baning by choice of what tech route he's gone, so can't really move out and pressure that.
She is getting roaches, though, and I guess, oh no, Carapace upgrade, or the attacks for flyers was started, but then it looks like it was cancelled, and the mutas are morphing now. Should Aquila be pulling her overlords back so that they don't get sniped?
Yeah, ideally that should be the case. I'm not sure if Aquila knows the timing of when the mutas are going to be popping, but I guess now seeing a muta in the main, that should be the sign to pull her overlords back if she has the spare APM, but I'd much rather you macro at home and lose a few overlords rather than pull a bunch of money, so looks like she's opting for the macro at home option, adding a lot more spores actually, 4 more spores. I don't think these mutas are going to be able to get any harassment damage done whatsoever. But there's no spores on this third base.
Now, in this third base, there's no queens by it, no, not even walking a spore over, so it's definitely a bit of a sitting flightless duck.
Poor duck. Spore crawlers are being rallied over, but it's going to be a race against time. Oh, they're not even being unburrowed. These are drones moving over to build spore crawlers, so I don't think this third base is long for this world.
Oh, and 2 drones immediately go down. The third's dead. This third base is, it's pretty forfeit.
Yeah, that is unfortunate for Aquila. ZVZ, once it gets past the knife fight early stages, is normally about whose third survives and gets the most use, and Aquila's does not get any use out at all. One of the lava gets turned into a Hydralisk, and that is not what you want your 350 mineral investment for.
And that Hydralisk came back having seen some stuff.
Yeah, that guy is terrified of moving out on the map because there is some mutas flying around, and They mean business. They're just going to let this Overlord live, though. That's okay. I mean, they don't need to kill every... Okay, no, they're going back for it.
No,
Never mind.
no mercy.
No mercy.
No mercy, no peace.
I believe that's the final Overlord out on the map that's died as well. So this is the other scary thing. If we look at Aquila's vision now, he can't see anything. There is no vision out on the map. It is a dark and scary place out there. Meanwhile, Picker, he's got the creep thread going, he's got a nice force of Ling Baneling, he's fully saturated his third base actually, which I would probably argue is a little bit of a mistake in this circumstance. He doesn't need 70 drones to beat a 40 drone Zerg. You just need around, I don't know, a little bit more than 2 base.
Meanwhile,
yeah.
all of Akila's overlords are like cuddled around this one spore crawler.
Having like a campfire party there. I mean, I guess I should go look at this little engagement, but...
I mean, it's just like overlords. I mean,
Yeah.
they're not even opting to share spore crawlers somewhere else. It's just all in one place.
I
I
mean,
don't know why that amuses me.
if Picker wanted to dive on that, he could get a lot of overlords, but there's 4 spore crawlers in this natural, so I think these overlords are pretty safe, even if they are all forming some kind of strange overlord tube. Half donut. I used to do something similar. I'd set all my overlords following one overlord and put that one overlord on a patrol path, so they just all like run around my base. And then Name told me off and said, no, that is absolutely awful, you have no map vision. And I was like, oh yeah. That was when I was Masters.
Meanwhile, we've got quite a bit of Ling Bling to go with the mutas. And there is a recharge army in the map. Hopefully Kilo will be able to move out and try and retake the third base soon, but it looks like the army from Picker is not going to give her that chance.
I mean, Aquila has the better army quality. Her units are going to be better in a straight-up fight, especially with these infestors just coming out. These are going to be able to funnel growth the banelings and stop them from getting on top of the hydras. But it looks like she's going to move out a little bit too soon, actually, and she's going to get surrounded on the map, and oh dear, there's no fighting whatsoever. Everything is going down, and there's the GG. Our series is tied up 1-1.
Yeah.
Alright, so, the next ZVZ. Here we go. Getting them all out the way first, because no one even the Zergs don't like ZVZ. So it's another platinum match. It'll be our Zerg G-Dog Casey. He's won once this season. He'd taken a bit of a hiatus from SC2, but he came in and won a game when we needed him to, and hopefully that'll be the case here once again. And on Team UnRivaled side, we have Noob of Blades, also known, I believe, as Cobalt. He's listed here as Platinum, but I've definitely seen him in a lot of Gold matches this season, so either he's a recent promotion or something like that, but he's been played a lot, and he's got 5 wins and 4 losses, but I think this should favour Casey.
Okay. Well, we'll have to find out. Maybe this time you'll get your 9 pool.
Look, eventually, there's gotta be a 9 pool. Not ZVZ without 9 pools.
Although, I don't know if this map is the map for it.
Yeah, this map is Inferno Pools, it's any spawns, it is huge. So therefore you'd think it's probably a bad map to 9 pool, but if you are playing against someone with the assumption that this is a bad map to 9 pool, it becomes a good map to 9 pool.
Mind games.
Yeah, it's a little bit tricky.
We're getting cross spawns once again on these large maps, and spawning in the top left, we have Cobalt, appropriately blue, or otherwise known here as Noob of Blades, and in the bottom right, we have G-Dog Casey.
Yep. We will be casting the finals together, actually, me and Casey. Be back. I think it'll be Thursday, 7 PM Eastern on this channel. So stick around for that. Would be cool. That is CT6 versus one of the new teams, Relentless Heroes, I think.
I believe so.
So we'll be casting that then. But for the time being, it's nice to see Casey back in action. We will see more of him in the future. So this map is... Oh, never mind. Casey wants to win the game in 5 minutes, so he's going to be going for a 13-12.
Ah. It's not quite a 9 pool, but it's early.
It's early, it's aggressive, yeah, this is very sort of life-type play. A lot of speedlings, a lot of banelings, a lot of aggression, and you can actually kind of just hide this as well on this particular map. If you don't get scouted fast, which won't be the case as it's cross spawns, and a hatch first, Casey can kind of just bank up lings until an overlord sees, or something sees, oh, you don't have a natural. And then he's like, surprise, here's 25 zerglings and banelings, what are you going to do about it? So it can be a very quick death in Nuba Blade's position if he doesn't scout this in time.
That sounds dangerous. I mean, when you're going hatch first, you get drones. Drones don't hold up well versus banelings.
They can do alright versus zerglings, kind of, maybe, a little bit, not really, but banelings is just like, no, just don't, please. Ever. Hatch first into a 16 pool and a 17 overlord, so it's going to be gasless from Nuba Blade, so he's going to be able to have a lot of queens and money for spine crawlers to be able to hold off this kind of aggression, but it's going to be scouted so late. Zerglings are already out.
Casey is not opting to hide the lings and is going to go ahead and start sending them across the map.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to get the quickest amount of damage in possible on Nuba Blades. And actually, Nuba Blades is opting for double gas on 22-ish. I have no idea what this is. I guess a lot of banings or maybe a fast upgrade. Maybe.
Or a really fast layer.
Maybe a really fast layer, yeah. I have seen... I think the only time I've seen this fast of a double gas is when Sulky got 11-11'd and got put back onto one base and used it to rush out speedlings and banelings as fast as possible and then went back to 3 on gas instead of 6. But I don't think that gas is going to be so helpful for Nuba Blades right now, as these lings are already in the natural, but the Queen does pop in time, so a little bit of a breathing room for Nuba Blades.
A little bit, but he's got to be wondering about the number of lings that are already in his face, and Casey's got more on the way.
Yeah, Nuba Blade's vision, he has seen nothing from Casey. So this is... Now he sees the banelings morphing in his main. He's going to be a bit sad about that. Hopefully these guys get cancelled, but... Speedlings are going to be rushing in from Casey here, and the aggression mounts up. I think there's enough speedlings in the main to hold off, though, so Casey does need to slow down a little bit and group up. Maybe morph some banelings outside.
Yeah, putting them in the base like that is a bit of a risky trick. Looks like we will get a cancel on the spine crawlers, though.
Oh, no cancel. That's 2 spine... Okay, those 2 get cancelled. Thank goodness for that, Nuba Blades. But, oh, here's the first inject from Casey coming in now. All of these lings are going to get cleaned up from Nuba Blades, and the lol gets dropped.
And now the banelings are remorphing.
Certainly live up to your name, GG. I mean, he did play like a G-Dog game. I can see the resemblance. I'm going to assume he was referring to the all-in part, though.
Most likely.
Well, that will secure All Inspiration a 2-1 lead as we go into the last ZVZ of today. I think. Hope. I think it was.
Yes, no, maybe so.
And it's me. Me. I'm queued up against UnRivaled's Barcode. He's only played once this season and he lost. So I'm wondering why we're missing the players like Roxas and Warren, Couchy from the roster, but I guess they were all busy.
It's getting to be about that time of year for school. If they're in school. I don't know what their lives are like.
That's true. Meanwhile, in Camp Me, I've won 4 times and I've lost 3 times, and my ELO that TB Ham calculates is about 110 above Barcode, so it looks like I'm favoured, but we will see how this plays out. Barney Research Station, which I have a bit of history with.
Oh yeah, you do, don't you?
Yeah, but I made a drone. Spoilers.
We have spawning in the top, it is you Stark. And spawning in the bottom, it is Unrivaled Spark there.
LLLLLLLLLLLL.
My cat is really mad, and I don't know why.
It's no 9 pools yet, that's what she's mad about.
Yeah, you're not 6 pooling this time.
I know, it's as if I've learned. Wow, this is really dumb, let's never do that again. So, the last time I played Barcode in the CT6 Weekly, I 9 pooled him 3 times in a row.
I heard about that.
Yeah. He'd end up winning 2-1.
And
this time,
like
yep,
you are
Barcode.
not the 9 pooler.
I know! Barcode is. Mind games. So as long as I don't go hatch first, this is going to come out favourably for me. But this map is kind of indicative of hatch first. It's kind of inviting. It's like, hey look, this is really easy to defend.
Although after being 9 pooled 3 times in a row, I would probably 9 pool you too.
Yeah, it's a solid build. I mean, it's what Pig did against Targa, I think it was, in his BCS series. He 9 pulled him 3 times in a row.
Just kind of, you know, taste of your own medicine.
This is true. So here come the Zerglings, just as my hatchery starts building in the net. Oh,
Yeah, so how does 9 pool versus hatch first typically go?
the idea behind this variant, as he's not taking any gas, is he wants to cancel my hatchery and build his own on 18. And he'll, in theory, have his hatchery building faster than mine. My second hatchery, that would be.
Ah. And
That's
you're
the plan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So ideally, he then gets a macro lead going into the mid game, assuming I opened hatch first. That's the plan, and we'll see how this goes. But the Zerglings did pass under my Overlord, which is of course the level 20 cool skin.
Ah, this is the game of skins versus no skins.
Yeah, all 4 series has had cool skins versus no skins.
Looks like the Lings are going to opt to go after the drone line.
Yeah, they are. I've seen some players on this map go for the drone line, and I've seen some go straight for the hatchery and try and sneak around. I'm not sure what the correct decision is, but either way, my hatchery is finished. So I still have no Zerglings on the map though, so these are gonna get some damage done. But so far, how many workers have gone down? 1. There's so much lost mining time here for Barcode. His income is so much better than mine, but he doesn't really have the lava. Actually, he has the lava, but he doesn't have the supply to use it. Maybe he forgot an Overlord back at home. But either way, I'm alive, and I have a hatchery.
Yep, the Lings are going to retreat back. Looks like there was a bit of a supply block there briefly. And we're just going to get a wave of drones out. So, I guess no harm, no foul.
Yeah, I believe I donated my Overlord to his queen, but he donated his Overlord back. So, even in a game of 9 pool versus hatch first, there are still gentlemen's agreements. Yes.
So it would seem.
Things are trying to see what they can get done, but with the queen out already, there's not so much they can get done. They're just seeing if I was being exceptionally greedy here, trying to exploit something. It's good to use the units you make even if you don't think you can get damage done. If you just sit at home, then you're kind of resigning yourself to not trying.
Yeah, so good that they're staying out the map. Maybe there'll be, well, no gas only just being taken, so no Baneling nest or anything like that, although speed starts.
Yeah, it's likely from me some kind of roach opening, as I have delayed my gases for so long. I could be getting Zergling speed a lot sooner than this, as we do have the Roach Warren going down. It's as if I played this game well. That being said, I could well have gone gasless into Speedlings, but it's a little more unusual, as being the gasless player versus a gas player, Barcode has the freedom of the map control. He can throw down a third base quite early, if he desires, and I can't really move out to punish it, because all I have are slow Zerglings and Queens, and I guess Spine Crawlers. Not really good at rushing a hatchery down.
It looks like the Baneling nest is thrown down, so it might be more of a bling style versus Roach.
Yeah, I guess Barcode's just attempting to be as safe as possible, given the fact that he's taken a bit of a hit and gone into the mid-game behind myself just a little bit. Making sure he doesn't die to any crazy saturation ling bailing all-ins. I don't think he's seen actually the Roach Warren up here. Oh no, he has. I guess that's why his own Roach Warren is coming down.
Roach Warren and lair, as well as the additional gases, whereas your lair is a little bit further ahead.
Yeah, so I'll be ahead on the upgrade and the roach speed and the roach production as well. Because I've hit saturation on my bases faster, I can start putting my lava towards military units faster, so I'm already taking the army supply lead here. Whereas Barcode has to keep building drones.
Although this time it doesn't look like anybody's opting for mutas or any kind of air control.
Yeah, this map is actually quite good for mutas, just poking into this back area. Any kind of aerial attack from any race on this back base is so annoying to deal with for any other race, basically. So, interesting that both players didn't opt for the muta type play. I am morphing an Overseer on the other side of the map as my lair is finished and sending this guy in just to see whether I'm against mutas or not, because I have no idea. And I would expect to see the same from Barcode as well very shortly. Yep, he's doing the same thing.
Although it looks like he'll get the scout off on your third base, if he sees that.
Yeah, he sees my third base. He sees a bunch of roaches there, and I see his Roach Warren and Evolution Chamber, so we both get full scouts off here.
And he was down to take a third of his own. So it will be a bit later than yours, which is just about to finish.
Yeah, that's just riding out that lead from holding the 9 pool with in theory an inferior build order. So I see his third base has only just gone down, I see mine is just finished. So I know I have a lead here, so seeing as my upgrades are about to finish up, let's see if I can hit some kind of timing.
Right, and this Overlord, Overseer and Queen just keep going back and forth.
Yeah, these guys do. It's nice to keep the Overseer alive towards the later parts of the game because you can get contaminates off on those upgrades and make timings for yourself that way.
And it looks like even though it doesn't look like the third is really going to be defended, even though there's enough Overlords in place to see this attack coming. Oh, and no cancel. That's gotta hurt.
Yeah, I think he sees that he doesn't have enough roaches to hold that, so he didn't even bother trying. I wonder maybe he could have done, maybe with a bit of creep spread, moving the spine crawlers down, getting a nice concave, but yeah, no attempt to hold that third was made there, so at this stage I think my lead is just slowly getting a little bit bigger, as I have a half-saturated third base and the extra lava running.
Yeah, you've got the Overlord tube too.
Yeah, so he's going to have even less roaches coming out. We're all just building roaches right now. Welcome to ZVZ. But looking at the upgrades, we both have +1 attack, but I'm getting +2 attack a little bit faster, along with the burrow. And I'm ahead of about 10 roaches and about 10 drones, so Barcode needs to make something happen here with his roaches, maybe with some harass of some kind, maybe like a Nidus worm, or maybe a fast tech into Hydras, hoping that I don't attack that soon. Trying to build up some edge that he can exploit for himself.
So both of you are opting for burrows, so this is quite the... This is probably the most mirrored match we've seen this evening.
Yeah, the only problem for Barcode is he's doing the same thing that I'm doing, but from a position that's behind, so he's just going to be doing what I'm doing, but worse. Ideally, he's doing something a little bit different so he can find some edge, but I have a lot of roaches. I'm maxed now, and he's at around 150, so he's got the spine crawlers here to defend, so that's something. He's got the Overseer, so he's not going to be surprised by any kind of burrow shenanigan. He's formed the concave as well.
Yes, this time coming down the ramp to try and defend, and you're going to run right into the concave. The spine crawlers go down immediately, and now the roach wars begin.
Yeah. And I mean, roach wars are kind of boring. There's not much to say about this, as I have more roaches. And there's the GG. Good news is we're done with the ZVZs. Goodness for that. Wasn't so bad actually, it was only 50 minutes of ZVZs. Alright, so the bad news is we have a PvP next.
Ah.
We'll be between...
PvP is not bad.
It's not so bad. It'll be between Detna, a gold Protoss for All-In, and Defenestrator, a gold Protoss for Unrivaled. It looks like, looking at the stats, Detna has the favourable record going into this, and actually it's just a walkover for Detna. Defenestrator couldn't make it to his match. So, I believe
Sin
that...
is asking for more ZVZs.
I mean, I'll play some with you after if you want, mate. But I can't play with lurkers yet. Soon. I guess we'll go on to the next set, which is Fruit Potato versus Padula. Captain for Unrivaled. So we have Terrans in every match from here on out. So this is going to be on Secret Spring, and if you recall, we casted this identical matchup on this identical map like 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Yeah. Canary proxy to barracks in the opponent's base.
Oh no, I mean Fruit Potato versus Padula.
Oh, did we?
Yep. And Fruit Potato did eventually come out on top.
I don't remember.
That being said, both of these players have done a lot of losing this season. Fruit Potato being 2-4, and Padula being 1-4, so it should be a pretty even match, in theory. But you have to give the edge to Fruit Potato having actually already beaten Padula previously in the season, so load on up.
Fruit Potato opting for a name change.
Yeah, we were planning this if we got into the finals. Everyone was going to rename themselves some variant of Einherjar and then get a walkover. But Fruit Potato, because he's a boss, he did it anyway. Because more people should be like Fruit Potato.
A true gentleman.
Of course, well, I mean, no. Carry on. It's...
Spawning in the right side of the map, already sending an SCV out across the map. I like this a lot. It is Fruit Potato. And spawning on the left side of Secret Spring, it is Padula. This is... okay, so...
You remember casting this game last week? Yeah, Canary said, hey, you should do this. And I was like, alright, oh god, this is going to happen a lot.
He's an inspiration
Fruit
to us all.
Potato. My god, the puns are real. Yeah, Canary was like, hey, do this. And Fruit Potato was... I'm going to call him Ein. It's going to happen. He's not Ein, he's Fruit Potato. But, yeah, he was like, sweet, let's do this. I wonder if Padula has done his research, but...
You would have to know that Canary did this build, and that it would be an inspiration to us all. Because... I get to see this build again. I didn't get to try it on Secret Spring before it went away, and so... Getting to see this build just one more time just makes me happy. Padula opting for the gas burst into Rax, which is... Well, for the 888, since I did it a lot last season, it really is going to depend on whether or not you can get that first Marine or Reaper kill. If you can, it is good for the 888er, because then you can pick away at the SCV line, and they have to start pulling to try and deter the Reaper from just going hog wild in the mineral line. If you don't, then it can be really hard to get a lot of damage done, and you kind of wasted an 888, and that sucks.
Yeah, Padula Scout does get in and sees, oh, where's your barracks? Where's your orbital? What's going on?
Why do you have so few SCVs?
Why is there a Reaper in my base? Well, he hasn't found that out yet, but he will do soon. The bunker is being made on the high ground here. I'd expect a secondary bunker on the low ground very shortly as this Reaper starts to go to town. Here we go.
First Marine is about to pop. This is something that you do want to watch out for, and... Already got one SCV killed. Oh. Run away! Oh, 2. Very nice. And the 888 is going to be found. Just getting a bit of lost fighting time. Do need to get this Marine, though. Very important to get the Marine kill.
Well, no effort was made to save that Marine, but there's also no effort for a low-ground bunker. That would really help keep the pressure up for Fruit Potato here. Every time. It's going to happen every time.
Got a couple of low-health SCVs that you can, now with 2 Reapers, you can pick off armor easily. Although, oh, save the Reaper! No, don't lose it. Don't let the Reapers die.
Yeah, that is massive for Padula in this situation. And oh, second Reaper just barely gets away. Oh my goodness, it's got 6. Oh, it's dead.
Oh no.
Well,
I see it. At this point, you as the Terran player, just like, well,
you leave the game.
This is awkward.
You just leave the game. It's over. I mean.
You still stay here and be annoying, but yeah, you don't keep making Reapers. You don't have the scalability now. But luckily, Fruit Potato is throwing the factory back home. And I would finish walling off this front because now that you've kind of forced your opponent to commit to Hellions, they could just run up and roast your mineral line.
She's just going to make a tank. He's saying no. You're done. I'm not going to take any damage from any more Reapers, and he's going to sit a tank here and siege it up. He's actually cut his starport for this. He could just keep making Hellions, but he's really just saying no.
I mean, it's really safe, but they got nothing at home. Hellions are faster, cheaper, and they do more damage.
His barracks is sneaking home. Oh no, the tank did just barely see it there. His barracks is like, oh, peace, I'm done.
So long, and thanks for all the fish.
Yeah. I understood that reference.
Padula is throwing down the starport now. Ein is actually ahead in the starport and in the command center, so he should cover for this, provided, you know, he stays safe from any kind of counterattacks. And oh, nice use of the barracks to kind of force the cancel, or force the salvage on the bunker.
Yeah, so somehow, Fruit Potato has the tech lead and the faster command center here. He's a little bit down on workers, but that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
That being said, this tank, if there's like a medevac, here we go, there's a medevac, that can just be shuttled across the map and be really annoying, and there's only a Viking for Fruit Potato.
And the second Hellion is caught up in the supply block.
There's actually an engineering bay block going down in the natural of Fruit Potato here, so Padula, he knows he's ahead. For sure. And there's a lot of minerals here. Is that just like a third command center? It is.
I think
wow.
part of it is the... Oh!
I've got a Viking, I'm safe, time to build a third. Wow.
When behind, generally you build the third as fast as possible.
I mean, one Viking. See how much work it can get done. Medevac has been loaded up, it's got the 4 Marines and the tank going across the map. And back at home, there is, well, a Viking, like we said. See how good Vikings are, I guess. They're even going to be in the right spot. I think it's being sent to kill this engineering bay, actually. Oh, that's so awkward. This is so awkward.
This medevac is just laying in wait. This could get a lot of damage done to Fruit Potato's mineral line.
Oh, no.
And Potato is not reacting, and I would have rather seen the drones pulled to try and get the tank before it could siege up.
Padula killed his own medevac.
I was gonna say, what was there to kill the medevac?
Padula had his 4 Marines kill the medevac.
Fruit Potato, don't lose your tank for free. Tanks on discounts, that sucks. Although, wow. Very nice cleanup by Fruit Potato.
That was a misclick and a half.
I'm not quite sure what I saw, but I saw some things.
Yeah,
And
carry on, never mind.
6 to 5 in terms of workers killed. That could have gone very different.
I mean, all things considered, I mean, Padula still has the 20 supply lead, right?
Yes, but Fruit Potato does have 3 command centers, and that is 3 mules.
He has 2 Vikings as well. That's twice as good as 1 Viking. The 1 Viking says, sweet, let's make a 3rd command center. What do you do with 2?
Although Fruit Potato is on 1-1-1, whereas there are a lot of barracks going down.
Yeah, it's 1 barracks versus 5. No tech lab on these barracks though, so Stim will be a little bit delayed, but that does mean Padula can get out his own Banshee. Is there cloak for this Banshee? No, there are
Wait,
no
there's
upgrades.
no stim yet?
Nope, no Stim. I imagine he'll lift off this starport and stick a Brax on it. No, he's just going to build a medevac with a tech lab. You do need a tech lab eventually, but that being said, he still has an enormous lead. I mean, his natural is basically fully saturated at this stage. Meanwhile, Fruit Potato has 4 SCVs, some of which are still arriving.
Yeah,
So,
I would like to see a few more SCVs on the main mineral line for Padula. There's only 8.
yeah.
The natural is saturated, but it's still kind of a base and a half.
So what do you do when you're Fruit Potato? You can't build a Dark Shrine.
I would say, first, you're glad that that initial tank drop didn't do nearly the damage that it could have. You've started Stim, which is good. Having the 3rd command center, it is good. It is a way to get yourself back in the game, but you're just going to kind of need to look for other ways to be aggressive, whether it's drop play or, well, what you don't want to have happen is to get caught in your... locked in your base, and to lose these 3 depots at the front.
Look at the Marine counts. It's 30 Marines versus 4.
He does have the Vikings, though.
Vikings,
so
though.
Potato will have the air control, and if you can get rid of this Banshee and the medevac, the Marines really can't push into sieged up tanks.
Vikings. Oh, someone died.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a bit of a war going on.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So, 2 Vikings. You did say they were better than 1.
Twice as good as 1 even.
They pushed an entire army back.
I know. You should make more Vikings. I shouldn't have gone mass Marines when I was Terran. I should have gone mass Viking. Look how good they
Well,
are.
it looks like Padula is looking for another angle. Now, he does not want to lose these Vikings.
I mean, there's still 1 Viking. 5 kills on that Viking. That guy's been worth his investment. Being said, the Viking needs to go up and kill this Banshee that's going to town, and there's still like 30 or so Marines half in Fruit Potato's base when he still has 5 Marines.
Scan was about.
I guess just seeing if there's any army down there. He might be considering moving to the low grounds.
Cloak was not researched, though. Yeah. Okay. So Viking was able to take out the Banshee, and now there is no air. There's really... I mean, Padula could push up where there's not as much vision, but instead it looks like we're opting for the retreat. Ish.
Padula
No, there's another army coming.
Yeah, I mean, look at the amount of Marines that Padula has. If he doesn't have Stim or combat shields though. Stim has just started. He does.
But it's not researching anything.
I mean, there's no
rush. It looks like Fruit Potato's got +1. I mean, yeah, the army is...
Oh, here we go.
Ooh, that's very interesting. That's a lot of tanks, though.
A lot of Marines.
Fruit Potato is master of the Viking.
It's 2 barracks that have gone down for Fruit Potato so far, and these 2 on the bottom are going to be cancelled as well. So back to the 1-1-1 setup, the 16-minute mark, and Fruit Potato's going to have to move his starport over as well. I mean, he does have Stim, he does have combat shields nearly finishing up in like 20 or so seconds, but he has, once again, 5 Marines. So they're like 30 or so of Padula.
Got the SUVs full to protect those tanks, although, yep, save the factory.
So Padula has taken, he's doubling Iron supply, oh my god, Fruit Potato supply. But the Vikings, look at the Vikings, they're actually being useful. I'm not even being sarcastic here. They're going to grant the vision here for the tanks to shell for Fruit Potato, whereas Padula can't really attack with his tanks.
You kind of don't really fully, I guess, respect the value of Vikings until you have some and your opponent does not.
Yeah.
And Fruit Potato is also able to just meal away at this 3rd phase, so he's hanging in there, and he's going to have 1-1 to these 0-0, stemless, combat shieldless Marines. So, I mean, yeah, there are more Marines, but these Marines are going to die.
They will die, but look at the supplies. I mean, Fruit Potato has 22 SCVs, or no, 21 army supply rather, and 37 SCVs. Whereas Padula is basically saturated on 3 bases nearly. But he doesn't have he doesn't have the 3rd base though. He's got 32 SCVs in his natural. I mean, you did ask for SCVs.
Just okay. Okay, Iron Potato relocates. Not the next army. Ideally, like at this point, when you have that kind of position in your opponent's base, you don't keep your units at home. You continuously rally them forth. So yeah, maybe it's nice to keep some back to be a little defensive, but Padula's been sending these armies in waves, and Fruit Potato's been able to defend them. Although this is going to get cancelled.
I mean, Padula is still doubling Iron's supply, and he's going to get the kill on this 3rd command center. Of course, he got the kill on this command center down here as well. So Ein doesn't have that 3rd command center anymore, which is what you said. When you're behind, we'll build the 3rd CC and hope that you stay alive. He doesn't have that anymore.
Although he's got a bunch of Marines about to pop to a sneak attack. Yep, yeah, okay. Now he pulls them back. Good Fruit Potato. And even the SCVs were preemptively pulled, saying, nope. Oh, look how fast those Marines died. Do they still not have combat ship?
No.
No. And they still don't have upgrades.
They have stim now.
They have stim now.
Yeah, the problem is though, they do need the combat shield, otherwise if you use stim, you're instantly going to die to a tank shell following it.
And TBT, especially when you get into the main phases, it's kind of like, well, it's like the other mirror matchups where it really becomes about the upgrade lead. And not having combat shields, not having 1-1 already, Fruit Potato's Marines are going to be a lot more cost effective, although this is quite the defense at the front. I mean, with as little vision as you can with as much vision as you can take, I mean, rephrase that, from Fruit Potato at this time, this should be in Fruit Potato's base, not chillin'. Because now Fruit Potato can see it and reposition himself so that Padula can't get in.
I mean, Padula maintains a massive supply lead though. He's got his 3rd going. He's actually got up to 80 SCVs.
That's a lot.
Like playing Age of Empires.
That's a lot for TBT too.
Yeah, I mean, normally you want to sit around the low 60s.
And somehow Fruit Potatoes managed to sneak out an armory and start +2. Wow, this has been a very cost efficient, reduced base terrain.
Yeah, I mean, Fruit Potato has lost more resources somehow, but
and, well, killing SCVs at this point is
that's a favor.
Yeah,
what a nice guy.
That's very gentle of me. And this army is just still sitting here, and yeah, this is the other thing you can kind of do when you're behind, is just doom drop. Go full bomber. Pack that mess up.
I don't go full bomber. Never go full bomber. Well, okay, small
Bomber
drop.
is to be
Small
respected.
doom drop. Doom drop to the low ground.
Although, why? Why would you give up your map vision like this? I mean, you know that this army is still awkwardly sitting here, and you're going to take away this. I'm confused.
I think he's just trying to break out. Instead of running down the ramp, he's just trying to engage Padula's army. He does have a pretty equal army supply in his Marine.
You had the high ground, Anakin.
Padula has 20 more Marines here, and he gets the faster engagement. This is not...
But +1, +2 finish. Oh god. And this is why we get the upgrades.
Even so, Padula, the supplies are even now. What?
Yeah, that's the magic of upgrades.
Padula does have 40 more SCVs though. Which he's
Well,
still building.
That's not army.
He's still building them. And
Unless-
Ein is built... Well, this is Yamato cannon being researched from the fusion core that we both missed. 2-base battle cruiser.
Oh, well, I mean, that's the other thing. I mean, I haven't really seen that since Wings of Liberty, that thing where you try and, like, where if you pin down the Terran, they get pissed off and they just start massing battle cruisers or Ravens. and then when you try and push in because you think you're at the point where you can start throwing away armies, they're just like, surprise! And then you don't know what to do. I don't quite fully understand the position for Potato is taking, because now he is prone to what Padula is about to do, is drop in the dark side of the map vision. But there is a Marine to kind of swap that. But now for Potato has to reposition in his base, and these tanks are probably going to siege up and make that hard.
A bit of a late siege up though by Padula, but I mean everything's on the ground here for Ein now.
Oh, good targeting on the tanks, and now they're free to pick up the medevacs, and
Another attempted attack at the front by Padula, but Fruit Potato holds at the front as well.
And we still only have... we don't even have armor for the Marines. A lot of scans going down, although at this point they're...
Yeah, I think Padula is a bit confused. He's like, how? I've been maxed nearly every engagement. What's going wrong? Well, what's going wrong is you have 97 SCVs.
And no upgrades.
Still building them. 99.
This battle cruiser is going to pop.
He's got 99 SCVs and they're all a problem.
Shh, battle cruiser. Battle cruiser's gonna pop. There it is.
You call in the fleet.
Yep.
I can't do a very good Russian robotic man impression. But
and my voice doesn't go that low, unfortunately.
you're biologically inhibited, that's understandable.
Yeah, I'm not a contraut though. This
This work account doesn't show up anymore. It's just one ...
Is it really?
Yeah, on my fancy overlay, my CTL TM Team League overlay, courtesy of TV Ham. It's
103, 104.
That's a lot.
That is, like, at this point you might as well pull the boys. Actually,
I mean,
look at this train. Look at this snake train leaving the base.
Whoa!
This is all SCVs.
They've made films out of this stuff, haven't they?
Like, I think at this point you could fry this and make room for army. And
You should just pull them to attack, surely.
yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, at this point, wow, look at them all in one fold too. That's
So
impressive.
many workers. Ein scans that and he's like, wow, that's so many workers.
Man, but you would
It's still
scan
there.
that and you would think that's every worker that the Terran has, but no, actually, it's. Oh, this is.
Can I just say that Ein has stabilized now at the 28-minute mark?
Very, very impressive. The Secret Spring is definitely one of those maps that in TVT, if you take the right engagements or you're on the wrong end of them, it can be pretty brutal to sit back and die the slow, painful death that is getting
One
choked
battle
out with
cruiser.
tank lines. Where's the battle cruiser?
He just got one battle cruiser. It's with his army. He just made one battle cruiser.
I mean, at this point, if I felt as behind as Fruit Potato must be, I'd make a battle cruiser too. Just, you know,
Why not?
Oh, the other battle cruiser is unfortunately supply blocked at the 169.
Oh no.
But, ooh.
This is gonna hurt Padula. Well, actually, it's gonna help Padula.
Actually, yeah, I was gonna say killing these SCVs at this point is a kindness.
But Ein is just gonna retreat. He's gonna say, nope, I'm not gonna kill those SCVs. Maybe he's recognized that Padula has this many, and well, Padula certainly has. He's pulled a few of the boys to go with his army here. What are the upgrades at now?
I think
Slightly.
it's 1-1
Yeah.
versus
2-1.
2-1.
With Yamato cannon, of course. That is the key upgrade here.
I mean, his battle cruiser is almost fully charged. Siege. That's a lot of brains.
That's a huge concave coming out for Padula, but actually there's a flank.
tanks with it, and now the tanks are just joining, but they can get targeted down instantly. And yeah, that army just dies.
That was.
I mean, yes, there were a lot more Marines, but I think Fruit Potato has constantly had the more effective composition.
And he's
even
building
if
a
he's
replacement
had
battle cruiser. He's taken a supply lead at the 30-minute mark for the first time in this game.
Maybe these battle cruisers are just like Magic Jesus or something. They just
Magic Jesus cruisers. Wow.
Although I think ideally Fruit Potato could. He's got 34 SCVs. There he goes. He's finally transferring some to this planetary fortress. It's not a billion SCVs, though. It's not quite the snake train.
Oh, the firing line here is ridiculous. This is so many workers that need to go down from Badula, but he doesn't have the army anymore. I mean, Fruit Potato, oh my god, is feeling comfortable enough to split his forces. He's got a small squad of marines and tanks that can pressure on the top side of the map as well.
And he's had this marine at the other third fort forever. It's given him a lot of information on where Padula is not.
Seen a lot of nothing.
Yeah. But I mean, that means that the Terran hasn't expanded there, which at this point he should be.
Oh. Fruit is stim forward, sniped a tank, very cheeky, but I think this is going to get overwhelmed here by Badula. This is getting completely swamped. The Hero Viking dies.
Hero Viking? Aww. Where's the other? Oh, the other battle cruiser. Battle cruiser Jesus is with the other army.
But Ein sets up in the main with this little tiny squad of marines and tanks. The medevac went down to the middle turrets, but this is going to get some work down here. This is going to be annoying. It's going to force Badula to retreat. He really doesn't want to do.
Well, not that Badula has the money to replenish the army, but the marines will get cleaned up, the tanks will continue to be annoying. And Potato's about to finish +3. Which I mean, I guess at this point, +2 armor, and you can skip it.
And an attempted drop on the PF here. One of the medevacs does go down. Second medevac will fall here as well. The tank looks like he's just going to accidentally let his unit go towards the PF there, and the tank is out of range. Crazy game. GG!
That was willpower and balls. Fight for Potato.
So that was a thing. This is why you don't leave games.
I was gonna say, I don't leave games. So, people leave games, and I remember that Adria played for the longest time.
Yeah.
And I remembered, yes, people do leave games.
Like, Fruit Potato was down 50, 70, 90 supply at various stages of the game there. And, yeah, in theory he had probably lost. But it's up for his opponent to earn the win. And that wasn't the case there, so go into set 7 here. That might have been the 5th map win for All In, actually.
It's 4 or 5.
Yeah, set 1, 1-1, 2-1, 3-1, walkover 4-1. Yeah, that's 5-1.
Oh, okay.
So, spoilers! All In at 5-1 now, so we have secured 3rd place, so we'll watch the rest of the games, because it's a team effort, and maybe it'll turn out to be a 5-4. Maybe it'll be close. Set 7. Another TVT. Diamond League. Canary versus Blaze. I believe he still scouts his main after I built a barracks in Blaze's main last season. So
It's not Secret Spring.
It's not Secret Spring. We have put Canary out 3 times on Secret Spring, so as an apology, I guess, we gave him a real map. We also gave him Inferno Pools twice. I'm sorry. It happens.
Although you did give Canary another very good Reaper map.
We did, and I know Blaze has also in the past 888'd on this map as well, so
Oh, I don't know if I've
may be a very quick map.
You could do the double ranks in your main. But we have spawning in the left position. It is sporting his favorite purple color, Canary. And spawning on the bottom, it is Blazerock.
Yeah. Previous Lucky 13 member, back when they were still a thing, hopped on over to Unrivaled, started winning games, as long as they're not against me, Pepper. So, really strong, solid player. Had a pretty good run in CSL, actually, as well this season. I remember casting a few of his games. I'm not sure exactly where he placed. I think it was top 16. So pretty solid there. Canary's actually gone for his patented 9 depot.
And what is the patented 9 depot?
I guess you were barracks faster, so you can build a Reaper faster.
And it looks like he is already... Oh, I see what he's gonna do. He's gonna build it closer to the edge.
He might even lift it to below ground. That might be too baller though. Sure. But actually, Blaze is opting for an 11 racks. I'm not sure if 10 depot 11 racks 11 gas is faster than 9 depot 10 racks 10 gas, which is what Canary has done.
Canary's got a slight lead in the gas and barracks, but we'll have to see how much it affects the Reapers.
Yeah, I think if this SCV stayed at home for Blaze, he would probably have a little bit of an economy lead, but not going to be the case. Actually, he's going to get the scout first. Something that Canary doesn't have. Canary will have the faster Reaper, but he won't know where to send it. So this SCV is going to go out, start looking. Hopefully for his sake he's rallied it to the bottom of the map. And actually Blaze has opted for a Marine first. I thought he was going to go Reapers off of an 11-11. I guess he's seen, oh hang on, your barracks is a bit faster than mine. He's expecting maybe some Reaper stuff. He's rallied actually to the mineral line here.
Yep, and Canary is going to get the unfortunate scout, but it does mean that he'll be able to send the Reaper straight to Blaze.
Yeah, normally in this scenario, when the Reaper pops just before the SCV has scouted, you send the Reaper the other way just so it's going somewhere, you don't dither. So he's actually going to send it the right way just by process of elimination there.
And Blaze is going to build his factory towards the back to try and keep it away from the Reaper as long as possible and hopefully get it finished up. There are already 2 Marines in the mineral line, which it allows the Reaper to get fully in, and it still forces SCVs to be pulled. I think I prefer, if I know that I'm getting Mass Reaper, to have the Marines stationed at the cliffs.
Yeah, catch them as they try to jump up. But it looks like Blaze is going to do that, with a few SCVs pulled as well. I like that. The more modern way of applying Reaper pressure is to have your SCV just to tank a few shots from the Marine, and maybe even get a hit or two off, which really helps snowball the Reapers. But Blaze is doing the modern response, which is just pulling a few of your own SCVs just to make sure they tank the damage and not the Marines.
Only 1 worker has been killed so far, so pretty good hold so far from Blaze. More Reapers about to pop in, though. And the factory is finished. First Hellion about to pop. Any Reaper damage is pretty done for, especially off of 1 racks. And Canary's throwing on the command center and the factory.
So, do you prefer Blaze's position with the faster tech or Canary's with the faster command center? And arguably the map control?
If I know that my Reapers are behind, generally I try to expand faster. I mean, ideally you kind of want both, and you want to stop making Reapers, but it's Canary, and so he's probably going to make far better use of his Reapers than I'm capable at this time. So yeah. I will have faith.
I mean, I
do like getting the eBay, though, because that means that even if Blaze gets the faster starport tech and potentially sends in a Banshee, then you can still have the turret up in time.
With how fast everyone's barracks was this game, only either side has lost an SCV. That's pretty impressive.
Yes.
Everything else is still alive.
I mean, Canary's Reapers will probably go to sleep without dinner for their shameful failure, but, you know, only 1 SCV was lost, so Blaze can rest a little easier tonight.
I wonder what Blaze's follow-up is going to be. He's still on the 1 gas, so it looks like he's just going to apply some Marine Hellion pressure. It's really a really solid response normally against Reapers, as we see that on Canary's side of things, his starport is only just finished. He is building a Viking though, which is going to help him shoo that medevac away, but he needs time. I wonder if Blaze is even going to offer the time.
Doesn't look like it. It looks like he's going to go straight for the liftoff, although there are units here. And Blaze is fishing for that opportunity. Although it looks like...
Pick up!
Really nice Reaper micro by Canary, pulling back the weaker Reapers.
Ideally, you have that full Marine squad landed before the opponent sees them, but Canary did manage to spot that in time and moved his units over, and he was killing the Marines, or at least hurting them as they were dropping out. So, nice hold so far by Canary, but this isn't over yet. Oh no, your Hellions. Get up the ramp!
Oh, the ramp!
Oh, the line! No! So much damage being done by Blaze here. The Reapers do come back though, and 3 of the Hellions pop instantly, and the Reapers... Are they gonna hold?
is not gonna hold. And there's 2 Vikings out now, so the numbers win.
All the Vikings land.
This is just an game.
Oh, the Viking with 1 health! What a save!
Very
Wow.
nice save by Canary, even though pulling those units up for the free Hellion shot was...
Repair this Viking, dude! Come on!
Maybe it wants to keep its battle scars.
Yeah, but when you're dying and you're bleeding out, that's not a battle scar! Oh my god.
It'll get better.
What do you mean it'll get better? The machine! Ah.
It'll still
Actually, I mean, he looks as
fire
good as the other
anyway.
Viking. I mean, only his back is on fire. Oh, Canary is heartless.
Getting a good worker transfer down. Wow, he transferred 10 SCVs and still has a fully saturated main.
Yeah. And he's building a 3rd CC as well. Canary is taking a pretty significant economic lead this game, but he is down in army supply. But he does have the tank.
Are they gonna poke in and take pot shots at the orbital as it tries to land? Or are they just gonna watch?
Gonna cheer
They're
from
just
the
gonna creep on it.
sidelines.
Actually, they don't even see it.
They're not? Wow.
I was gonna say they were gonna...
They see a couple of completely unused mineral patches, which is some evidence at least that there's no SCVs mining there, and he drops a scan in the main and sees the obvious hole where there was a command center and an SCV rolling to the natural, so he flies in, gets the confirmation there. He sees, oh wow, I'm building a 3rd tier and, oh okay, I'm in a nice economic position, I should probably sit and chill and not attack. And hopefully Canary doesn't attack for a while.
Yeah, I mean at this point, you've held... The Reapers didn't do nearly as much damage, but you were able to hold the counterattack, so at this point you do kind of need to restabilize your economy, rebuild your army, get started on your upgrades, and as we see, 1-1 has started... I need to start stim. There it goes. So, now we're just rebuilding, and it looks like Blaze is pushing for part 2.
There is a tank on the high ground here for Canary, and also one in his main, just in case Blaze wants to drop back there. So Canary is as prepared as he's gonna get, but Blaze just doesn't really care, and he's just gonna march right on up. But he has no stim, no combat shields or whatnot for these Marines, so I'm not sure how well this is gonna go for him. But he does go out of the siege tank range, and he might have to pull... Canary might have to pull SCVs here, but...
Looks like he's doing a really good job of getting the Hellions out of the way, and there's a lot more Marines here.
Wow.
And these Vikings are forfeit.
Everything is forfeit. Canary...
Is that guy too? No. Nope, wait. The Vikings come back.
1 hit point Viking, still alive. Wow, so I think in Canary's position now you are incredibly happy. You knew you were at an army deficit and you just held an attack with a 3rd command center. So
he's got a really solid SCV lead too. I mean,
yeah.
Normally I have more of the Blaze approach where if you're still on one base for a while you kind of cut SCV production in favor of your army, but actually I'm liking that Canary had all those extra ones ready to go because now you can go ahead and cleanly take the 3rd.
Yeah, if you hold, you have such a nice economy of these. Tricky part is holding, so testament there to Canary's micro mostly.
Yeah. And
I
this
think
one Marine is going to get chased off by a sizable army.
And these medevacs, with the medevacs all finishing up now, with Stim finishing up, he's going to have a nice timing with 1-1 and Stim before Blaze has his own armor upgrade. So this is going to be a nice little timing for Canary. Actually, does Blaze have medevacs even? No, he doesn't. So quite a nice tech lead for Canary.
He's getting a 2nd factory before racks 4 and 5. That's a little unusual. Although it looks like, what is this position Canary is trying to take?
He's walking right into Marines there.
Forget my tanks? Who needs tanks position?
I'm not sure, but I think he's doing okay. All the SCVs have pulled into this as well.
Everything is gonna die.
All the Marines are gonna die, that's for sure. A lot of SCVs going down as well. I mean, looking at the supplies, that was still worth it for Canary, but that was such a wonky position.
It was, especially to basically abandon your tanks to the siege at the front. I mean, 10 workers have been killed in total.
Yeah, I mean, back at home, Canary does have basically the identical army he just used, so I guess that's a reasonable trade. He does have more tanks, more medevacs, more Vikings, more Marines, more upgrades, more SCVs, so I guess he's still in a reasonable position, nearly doubling Blaze's supply. Has the lead to make strange plays with.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of turrets up in the main too, which is going to make it hard for Blaze to drop, and I do like that he's getting the extra barracks as well. Because I mean, the double factory is nice, you'll have a higher tank count, but you're on 2 bases, and so it's going to be a little more, one, difficult to afford, it's going to cut into your medevac production, and, I mean, once your Marines are gone, any Marines that Canary would have left over, in theory, can just be dropped on the sieged tanks.
Yeah, I guess Blaze is looking for some kind of an edge in this game. He needs something that he can try and use to try and claw his way back in, and I guess he's saying, well, if you only have 1 factory, I'll make 2, and I'll have more tanks than you, and that can be what I can try and use. But at the moment, he's only really equalizing the tank count. He's not even clawing ahead, necessarily. And as you said, he can't really afford to make the double tanks yet. He needs that 3rd command center, which he is now getting, but Canary's had his for so long.
Yeah, Canary is well saturated on 3 bases. And he's gonna load up some more medevacs over here and just go for the doom drop. There is no defense. I mean, there's a turret in the mineral line, but you can drop your medevacs anywhere else. I mean, although Blaze's army is moving out across the map, I mean, it's not really going to be able to drop into Canary's base. But we'll have to see if he pulls these Marines back or if he just tries to defend with what he's got.
This is going to get very weird very fast here, as the position from Blaze, I think, here is incredibly strong. There's not enough tanks in position necessarily to defend right here. And meanwhile, behind all of this, Canary is going to be dropping into the main of Blaze. This is going to get very strange very fast.
Yeah.
Nothing at
and
home
this is the
for
production.
Canary.
I mean, Canary can kind of afford to lose a couple barracks. But once whatever Blaze loses here is going to be really hard to replace.
Yeah.
And that's 2 of your 3 racks and your tank's gone.
I really like the tank position from Blaze here, but he doesn't have the Marine support to cut it. I think that's going to be the eventual nail in the coffin here, as the entire main gets cleaned out. No effort was made there to lift or pull anything away from Blaze.
Yeah, what Blaze has sieged up here in front of Canaries, that's it. The army is not coming back.
Yeah, there's like 7 tanks and a Reaper. And a couple of medevacs. But that's actually all he has. There's nothing else back at home. There's no army units. He's got a few SCVs, but they're mostly being gunned down.
Actually, and there's nothing supporting these tanks either. Canary could pick up the medevacs full of Marines and just drop on top of them.
Blaze was actually building a planetary there with that 3rd command center. Just anything to try and stay in this game by the looks of things, but... it's 173 supply to 31, so at this stage Canary could pull all the SCVs and win with that. He could kill his own Marines, he could try landing command centers on top of these siege tanks, find out it doesn't work and then use something else.
Yeah, these siege tanks are the only thing that Blaze has left. There are 2 SCVs.
And he is going to pull the SCVs, yeah. I mean, it's a solid build order right now. GG lol. Alright. Well played by Canary. He takes the 6th set, or the 6th set for all-in, rather.
6th set? It was a sick match. Oh, ho, 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 ho.
Alright, set 8. Finally we get to the non-mirrors. Sick.
But TVT.
We have no more TVTs, but we do have Terrans in every match for the rest of the night. So set 8 is going to be another Gold League match. It's going to be our Terran Fu Manchu versus the Gold Zerg Mr. Whippy. Looks like a relatively even match by statistics. These are the Gold Leagues who have kind of been dumped on really poor maps for most of the season by the looks of it, with Fu Manchu getting Secret Spring 4 times. And Inferno Pools once, and Mr. Whippy gets Inferno Pools twice as well.
Secret Spring is not an unfortunate map. You guys just have terrible taste.
You want to play on it next season? Actually, it's going, so... No. Even if you wanted to, you couldn't.
I know. I don't get to proxy a barracks in somebody's name.
Alright, so looks to be a relatively even match once again. Let's see how this goes. See if UnRivaled can get a point. Another point.
Oh, we're back on Deadwing. This
Yeah.
is a map that I'll be glad to never see again.
You don't like this map? Or have you just seen it
I
too
liked
much?
watching it, but ZBT was kind of awful, and then
Oh.
PBT is my lack of SCV pulling.
Apparently Mr. Whippy got promoted at the start of this week as well, so congrats to him. Fu Manchu is going to have an even more of a trouble.
We have spawning cross positions. We have the Terran Fu Manchu in the top left corner. And our red Protoss, Mr. Whippy, spawning in the bottom right. And see, this is why I did not like Deadwing, because cross spawns Deadwing ZBT could be nightmarish, nightmare-inducing.
Let's see if Fu Manchu has any plans up his sleeve, though. I know he's been working a lot with Albert Shalashaka, as you may know him, getting some build orders down. He has some pretty nasty Hellbat, Banshee, Marauder type combo push things, which are hella obnoxious, and yeah, there's some chat splurge during this game as well. I know that Mr. Whippy, I believe he is somewhere between 13 and 14 years old, so he's like, you know, shackled by parents who want him to do chores and stuff like this, my understanding. So
Well, we've all been 13 or 14 at some point.
yeah.
I still get people telling me that I look 13 or 14.
Yeah, so I know Mr. Whippy has that problem for this game, and I know Fu Manchu was, I believe, on a phone call for work during this game. So, might be an interesting game. We'll have to wait and see. We do have the hatch first, though, all things considered, ignoring the chat now. And it looks to be a 1-Rax gasless expand for Fu Manchu so far.
Alright, so now we know that both players are under constraints by real life more so than build orders. And
Yep, it's going to be the 15 gas, so Fu Manchu's going to be able to get 2 Marines before a command center, and then the reactor and a factory. So a little bit non-standard. He's going to forego the scouting, but to be honest, I don't mind foregoing the scouting in lower leagues. I'd much rather people just spend money. For the most part, that's going to get you most of what you want.
I always value information.
It does have value, and to be honest, I would actually much rather people have information, but it's tricky. So back at home, we do have a gas being taken as well from Mr. Whippy, so he'll be doing a Speedling opener. Be having the opportunity for pressure if he so desires, and actually it's going to be a Marine into a Reaper, so there is going to be the information coming out, so both fans of that. But I guess the Marine is there just to be a bit of a meta play, because a lot of Zergs will just send their overlords in. Oh, you're going to make a Reaper. Surprise! Right.
So nobody's opting to end this game particularly quickly, and I was going to say, if anybody has to leave early, this is not the map or the spawn locations for a
Yeah,
short game.
this is true. Sadly, Mr. Whippy has hit my favourite supply block of all time, 28. Both players are actively engaging in diplomacy as they're trying to kill each other in war at the same time. It's a bit of an interesting combination here, but I'm just going to ignore this for the most part. Not really relevant to the game at hand. So we have the factory and a second gas for Fu Manchu, so this is looking indicative towards his favoured sort of aggressive plays with tech.
Oh, energy?
Maybe. Mr. Whippy has realised he's gotten supply blocks and just thrown out all the overlords. That's a little bit of a nuisance to have to do that. I've done it many times. Oh no, I'm supply blocked. And then my favourite trick is finding out I'm supply blocked and then forgetting that I fixed the supply block and then realising I'm supply blocked for a second time without remembering I've already made overlords, so I make even more overlords and then I'm like 30 out of 107 or something. It is really annoying.
Reaper does get a drone kill, although it looks like it's going to get wrecked by this queen.
Yeah, he got in and saw that there was no more gas mined past 112, so no speedling aggression here for Mr. Whippy. He's just churning out all of them drones, getting some extra gas in the natural. Never mind cancelling that gas in the natural. Okay, he's going for the one gas instead. I wonder what Mr. Whippy's plans are. He's got a lot of minerals.
I'm wondering that too. I mean, we just sat through an entire conversation about people needing to leave or not having a lot of time, and nobody's going for like Roach Bane or like some kind of early or Hellbat push. The Hellbat battle ends. It's just like we're gonna keep playing the game as normal. Like nobody's gonna do the get mad table flip and just say screw it, send everything.
Well, I think Mr. Whippy is maybe gearing up for that. He's got a lot of lings coming out, no third hatchery in sight. He does need a round of overlords and probably a Roach Warren or Baning Nest. Here we go, Baning Nest. So it's going to be a very high lava, high economy ling baneling timing by the looks of things. Very reminiscent of 2010, old school Keurig style. Still very much effective today, but look at Fu Manchu. He's got Hellions, he's got Marauders, he's got a Banshee coming, he's got an Armory coming. I mean, I guess the only thing he's missing is like Widow Mines and Battle Cruisers. What else is really good against Ling Baning or Siege Tanks, I suppose? A wall? Does he need a wall?
If you kept the Hellions at home, I would say, I mean, the Hellbat push would probably, or Hellbats plus the Banshee would be effective in themselves, but now it's just kind of open season for whatever wants to run by.
Yeah, but I
it
mean,
looks like Fu Manchu's going to hit first.
He is. But you're not expecting to have all of these lings here from Mr. Whippy, so hopefully Fu Manchu is looking at nice positioning behind the minerals there, getting a really nice... Oh my god, all those lings. There's more lings.
Yeah, Fu Manchu needs to stay in these choke points, but it looks like the lings are going to get the surround and the kill, and that kind of kills the Hellbat push. Although... Seeing this many lings now, you start walling off at home and you keep the Hellions back.
Or you just morph into Hellbats and say, please attack me.
Yeah, but I mean, that's why you keep them at home. But it looks like that first push would have been a lot more effective had he waited for the Armory to finish, but I think it was barely started. These lings got a rude awakening. A very fiery awakening. Oh!
Oh, these Hellbats are looking, and they found them. This is a really strange race against time here. The Hellbats go right up close. Oh, just the cancel from Mr. Whippy there.
That cancel is unfortunate because that's gonna kill the lings faster than waiting for those Hellbats to kill the Baneling cocoons.
Yeah, Mr. Whippy has a lot of money saved up and a lot of overlords made as well, so he can just produce lings and banelings for the rest of eternity here, and I think that's what he's going to try and do. He's just going to try and end the game as fast as possible here. I'm used loosely as it's now the 11-minute mark, but Fu Manchu's got a lot of Hellbats and he's going into mech, which to be honest I think is a pretty cool thing to do when you know your opponent has to leave early.
It's kind of trolling. Although this Banshee is going to spot it, but the Hellbats, they don't care. They're just going to catch the reinforcements and fry them.
A very strange pseudo-base race here with Ling Baning. They half of them just blew up on the command center. Oh, so many SCVs going down there as well, but with the Hellbat reinforcements, I think Fu Manchu is going to be okay. He's shutting the door on this. Should probably lift the command center here, but actually I guess with the Hellbats he doesn't really care. And he's maybe a little bit indecisive in the middle of the map, but it is going to pull his army home just to make sure he's cleaned up, but Fu Manchu has doubled Mr. Whippy's army supply here.
Yeah, this got cleaned up pretty well. I mean, for half the army to be kind of in the middle of the map, just catching reinforcements. 14 workers were killed in that Baneling attack, which, I mean, it could be worse. They're still very, very saturated main base, so I don't think the SCVs will be missed too much.
Yeah, Mr. Whippy finds himself in this really awkward position of where he wants to make drones and he wants to make units, and he can't really do both. Oh, Hellbats are so good against openings.
And 3 Banshees and no anti-air.
Yeah,
there's a couple of squads.
if the Hellbats were bad enough, Banshees as well. They don't have cloak, but I mean, so many kills on these guys. Cost effectiveness of Fu Manchu here is disgusting. No rush, I guess. Kill the eggs first. I'd like to see maybe Fu Manchu at this stage go home, focus a bit more on the macro, get those factories going, maybe get some extra factories and eBays and armories and whatnot. But I mean, there's no rush given how far ahead he is in this game.
Yeah. These Bentleys are gonna pop. They're gonna get some of the Hellions, but the Banshees pop. They're gonna get quite a few Hellbats, but the Banshees are still high in the sky. That's GG.
GG as All Inspiration take a 7th set. So we have the ace match coming up. Let's see if Unrivaled can get a second point on the board. Will be some pretty powerful ace players. So we have Zale coming out for All Inspiration again. I think he's been our most played ace this season. He's definitely played a lot, having 6 wins and only 2 losses to his name. Playing mostly on the nice maps, aka not Super Spring. And for Unrivaled we have Monk coming out, who's undefeated this season 4-0. So when he stopped writing Hearthstone stuff for Team Liquid, he's playing Zale. So first map is Expedition Lost. The winner of this map will get a veto, and then the loser picks from there. Same again if a different player wins map 2, the winner gets a veto, then the loser picks.
We've seen a lot of PVTs on Expedition Lost.
I mean, we don't see a lot of Protoss, so that might be why.
Yeah, that might be why. Spawning in the top side of the map, we have Monk, and spawning in the bottom, we have Zale. And both are blue. I mean, at least it's not a mirror matchup. But
yeah.
Get confusing.
I know Zale likes his blue. That's a very Team Liquid-y blue there for Monk, so pretty fitting. I have never seen Monk play, so I have no idea what his playstyle is like, but I know Zale is relatively crisp in what he decides to do, be it macro or all-in.
Nobody opting for any kind of proxy 2-rags. I don't know, do Terrans really 2-rags against Protoss? I guess not now with the Mothership 4.
I did it last season. I believe that game where I 2-raxed that Protoss, I believe it might be the fastest game I've seen recorded in CTL. 4 minutes 59.
I was gonna make a joke about your 6 pool, but you're actually putting numbers and times onto that, so I guess...
I mean, the 6 pool might be quicker, but I didn't win that. I won the 11-11. The advantage of throwing 5 to 10 command center first in your match history and saying, hey look, I command center first, and then you 11-11 them.
Mind games.
Yeah.
They're all about the mind games here.
Yeah, it shouldn't really work against Protoss without some mind games. Looks to be a standard opening so far, 1 gas from Zale and the gas from Monk, so he's going to be adding on the Reaper. Sending an SCV down just to make sure he's no shenanigans.
Gotta turn off all those streams when you're booting up the game.
Yeah, that's true. His passion is overwhelming.
Do you have just like 10 monitors or something if you're turning off more than 1 stream, or is it like you're running multi-Twitch or something?
I don't know, for me I just have several streams open. Why the hell not? But depends on his monitor setup, I guess. Some people try and squeeze them all in on 1 monitor. Looks a bit sad though.
I was gonna say, I don't like when I have to kind of do the little half screen. It's just kind of sad and small. Zale is able to take the Nexus at the natural without any evade blocks or anything particularly annoying. And Monk is expanding as well, so Nobody's going for anything too crazy.
Both players are giving a lot of respect to the other one, though, scouting the top and bottom portions of the map respectively, just saying, okay, are you hiding anything? I don't think you are, but I'll scout anyway. And both players will find nothing, so a lot of respect coming out for both players here. But actually, Monk throwing down the factory before the second or third barracks here, so we're going to be seeing some kind of Widow Mine or maybe Hellion pressure here.
Yeah, I know the mine drops have come back, and it's become one of the more recommended builds for Terran players in PvT.
Yeah. Dale announces, hey, I know you're building a factory by attacking the worker there. It's saying he doesn't need to scout the rest of this base, I guess. He's seen everything he needs to see there. So we'll be seeing Zale's response to Widow Mine drops very shortly. Actually opts for the Twilight Council, very hidden towards the top.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to scout because the Reaper, unless the Reaper just goes right through the front door, but the Mothership Core is there to repel it, and the Reaper barely gets away.
Doesn't want to take that chance. I can respect that. I mean, there's no way out of the main base of Expedition Lost with a Reaper, assuming the rocks aren't down and there's not a medevac to pick you up. You only can leave through the natural, and there's already a small army there waiting to meet you, so that Reaper would have died if it went in. It probably would have gotten in and seen the Twilight Council, but I respect that Monk has decided, no, I'm just going to try and keep this guy alive.
I mean, it looks like Monk has opted to send a little push at the front to maybe try and force an overcharge.
I do like this. It's nice to force an overcharge before the Widow Mine drop happens, so that there's less defense when the Widow Mine drop comes. And he's even drawing out, syncing up the push-out time with this Reaper, so that maybe Zale gets pulled out of position, gets the Twilight Council scout, and now that he sees the armies in the main, these Marines can get some damage done in the natural.
Yeah, we can try and go for a couple of probe kills are probably what you want to get at this point. You're not going to kill that Nexus in time.
The overcharge was successfully forced. I think all these Marines will be forfeit, though. Yeah, it will be, but this has been the setup for Monk's next attack. There's not going to be an overcharge in time to defend his Widow Mine drop. I believe it's just loaded up, or it will be. You go.
We have 2 Widow Mines and a handful of Marines. There is no... Alright, there is an observer out on the map now. I was going to say there was no detection.
Yeah, this was one gate into the Twilight Council, and then into the Robo, and then there's a second gateway coming down now for Zale, so looks to be a relatively defensive opening from Zale. No large, massive gateways fast. He's just, yeah, he's going into the Colossus tech as well off of the 2 gateways, so a nice defensive opening here. Let's see how well he handles this mine drop. Instant pull on the probes. That's the simplest way to defend against mine drops, I think, because we saw people have some issues with them last week.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I think it was Acadian and maybe someone else.
We got 2 observers. Zale is taking no chances, and actually is going to get out with one of the mines, or just continue to be really annoying. Although Blink is finished.
Oh, the mine, the mine, the mine, the mine! Oh, that was so close.
It almost got the shot of the century. There's 30 probes at that Nexus. I mean, it's lost mining time, certainly. And oh, wow, Monk is just continuing the mine drops. And if at first you don't succeed,
Keep mine dropping it, yeah.
at the very least, it's going to continue to force overcharges, and there's
Oh,
not going to be
oh.
energy.
Ew, this is gonna hurt.
Uh-oh.
Oh, 4 kills on that Widow Mine. I mean, I guess 3 Widow Mines for a Stalker and 4 probes, that's not... Or 5 probes, I believe. 9 probes, actually. Either way. That's pretty good. For Zale, I believe. An even trade.
It's good, but, I mean, look back at Monk's base, how far behind everything else is. I mean, the 2nd and 3rd racks are just finishing. Stim is not going to be anytime soon.
Maybe the 14-minute mark will have Stim.
I mean, it's not ideal. Usually when you go for the mine drops, you want to throw down the barracks behind kind of the first drop, and then use the factory and the starport to build your tech lab so that you can catch back up on the upgrades. But opting for the As much as Monk was playing around with the mine drops, I would have liked to have seen them do more damage for how far behind Stin and combat shields are. I mean, there's a Colossus out already. It's, it's going to hurt if Zale moves out with Blink upgrades and a Colossus.
I wonder if he will. It will have to be reactionary move outs at best from Zale, because he's queuing up the double forges in his main. He only has 3 gateways, so he can't produce a lot of units, so it's still a very defensive opening from Zale here. Meanwhile, Monk is building his third command center on position, and even though his infrastructure is behind, he is building it up. I mean, he's just missing now a few extra barracks 4 and 5, and maybe the second eBay and armory if he wants to go there. But everything else is still going strong for Monk, I think. A pretty even game.
Zale is definitely showing respect and giving Monk time to kind of recover from the mine drops. Although it looks like, oh, another drop and another Widow Mine.
Oh, this one wasn't spotted in time. He has to leave a few probes back there. Oh no, it does get the long shot though. Luckily only 3 probes go down there. Could have been very dangerous, but I believe that's going to be the last of the mine drop aggression now that the cannons have been revealed.
Yeah, this Colossus just standing there slacking off the entire time.
I mean, yeah, I guess he didn't have range. He doesn't want to reach that far to kill a Widow Mine. The probes can die. He's worth more anyway.
I like that Zale has these stalkers sitting over here in the entrance, towards his back entrance, so drops are going to be hard to get in.
That's true. I mean, Monk isn't dropping anymore, though. You would expect a Terran to drop, and he has dropped over there, but I guess now he's shifted his attention towards frontal aggression, maybe. The second starport is now going down in the back of things for Monk, so he is prepared, or preparing for the Colossus tech of Zale. But it seems so far he's taking just more of a bio-mine approach. So we've seen this out of Byong and Maru and stuff like that in Pro League, so I guess he's feeling inspired by that. But let's see how well Zale handles this. Looks like the Widow Mines aren't going to get those key shots off, but the bio is going to do a lot of damage here. But they're really tunnel visioned on that one Colossus. They will focus fire it down, the second one as well. But most of the bio is forfeit for that.
Ooh. I'm going to say that was questionable until those Widow Mines went off and took what was left of Zale's army.
And now Monk has maintained that nice 40 supply lead, which is mostly an army. So attempted save on that one Stalker, but that goes down as well. I do like Monk's position here. He's got a lot of units out on the map, but Zale definitely has the unit quality, I believe, with the 1-1 upgrades. He has the option of adding the 2-2, but I think right now he's more interested in just making stuff. He needs units that can shoot. He's getting the attack upgrade. He will get the armor upgrade now as well.
Yeah, and he's Monk's gotten the third command center up, so he's going to get the economic lead as well as enjoying general overall supply. Zale is going to have to defend this third, and Monk is gearing up for another attack. And it's a lot of medevacs. I think there's 8 Colossus with this army.
Oh, I don't know. This is going to have to be cancelled. Surely, there's no way that Zale can hold this, right?
Unless Monk runs away.
Well, now that the rest of the Stalkers have arrived from the main base, it looks like Zale is going to be in a good position.
Server with this army? I mean, this mothership core is inches from death.
There's no... Oh god, it's... Nice time warp there, actually. That's a fantastically positioned time warp. And oh, the Widow Mines detonate on the medevacs there. That is unfortunate for Monk. And that was one of the fights that Zale needed to come back in this game, but he's still down 60 supply.
He's standing on the Widow Mines.
Live life on the edge, right? Okay, he left the Zealot there. Actually, I would have liked... If he wants the Zealot to die, he should attack the Zealot with the Colossus.
Well, he probably doesn't know about the health on those.
That's true.
If he did, yeah, just sack the Zealot.
I mean, if you want to go for extra cool points, you do what Zest did in that GIF that's on Reddit, where he hallucinated a bunch of Zealots and he attacked those with the Colossus, and Widow Mine died underneath.
I mean, if you want to be fancy about it.
Gotta be fancy or Zest. Actually, you don't need to be fancy or best.
I was gonna say... You're going to imply that your boy ain't fancy?
Be my boy. There's a lot of other people who want Zest. That's stuck with me. Dale is one of them.
Oh wow, Monk is king of the Widow Mines. Really going overboard with the Widow Mines in this matchup. Not opting for the Vikings as much, especially with all the Colossi out.
Eventually, this is going to be a problem for Monk, because the Colossus count does build for Zale. He does need to add, I think, a few more Vikings. He is going to get the upgrade for those, though. But Zale's starting his 3-3 now. Got 2-2 finish, and Monk is 1-1. So any engagements now are going to be a lot more in Zale's favour. He has the 4 Colossus now to the 6 Vikings. This is a really nice tech lead for Zale. And he has the Stalkers, which have +2 attack, so they're going to be able to focus down these Vikings, which don't have any armor, quite quickly. And even the armor upgrade on the Colossus is really going to mitigate the Vikings doing damage to the Colossus. So the Bio and the Mines really have to do most of the work here. Let's see how this fight goes, as the Colossus do get a... Colossus do a lot of damage, but the Vikings are going pretty unhindered as the Stalkers are out of position on the left side, but some backup Stalkers do warp in, and yeah, there just wasn't enough Vikings, even with the Stalkers being out of position there. And
Yeah.
really nice fight for Zale.
I think there might be a little bit of an overinvestment into the Widow Mines, and they probably could have been better put towards the Viking count. I mean, these 2 Vikings are going to pick up the Colossus, but now they're Stalkers, so that's... I mean, the armies trade... It's pretty much army for army.
Yeah, Zale has actually cut the gas entirely on his 3rd base as well, so he just wants units right now. He's pretty much, I would say, all in on Colossus and Blink Stalkers and Charge Lots until... Oh, found 30 supply.
Found 30 supply.
Oh, that's convenient.
Happy birthday.
Yep.
It's your birthday.
It is now.
Looks like Zale's throwing down the Templar archives back home, so he will be looking to get Archons or Stormblader. I mean, Monk's still got the Widow Mines, but with Zale's commitment to Colossi, I mean, they're not... I mean, they might be better for retreats than actually taking engagements.
Or aggression, even, with the form of drops. That would be really nice to see the drops continue now, even with the photon cannons in 2 of 3 bases.
That's true.
It's still useful to attack, I think, in multiple locations.
There are 10 medevacs. You could sack 2, pick up all these Widow Mines. I mean, 1 cannon is not going to kill 3 or 4 of these if you just drop them in the bases. And with all these medevacs and the Vikings, it's going to mean a smaller ground force.
Yeah. And speaking of ground forces, Zale has got a massive one. He's actually gone for the Archons, as you would have predicted, considering he has got 3-3. 3-3 Archons are going to be a little more valuable than waiting for Storm in the short term.
Yeah.
And we're going to go for the engagement here. Here's the blink in. They're going to start focusing down these Colossus very quickly, but the Widow Mines are doing work.
Ooh, Time Warp goes down, it's just going to slow the Marauders, and both armies are just posturing, looking for the good engagement, and actually, Monk is going to suicide those Vikings right over the Colossi. I mean...
So many charge zealots here. There's not enough mines. Somehow all of the mines have gotten cleaned up, and Zale, the army supplies have been equalized now, but Monk is on the retreat very much so. All of his bio is half health or less, and the medevacs are starting to fall as well here.
Colossus is still alive as well, and he can work in Archons. GG.
Wow, GG coming out there as Zale weathers the storm, arguably, as that was a ferocious opening from Monk. The aggression was relentless, the supply lead was massive, but Zale holds out. And I don't know what map he vetoed, but Monk chose to pick Catalina for the 2nd map. Which I know Zale doesn't like, so good choice by Monk. Yeah, not for the later game. He doesn't like that you can just drop everywhere. This map.
I like that I can drop everywhere.
I know.
I'm the Terran
You're the Terran player, yeah. So, alright.
I mean, with this, as much as Monk was favoring the mine drops in the last game, it wouldn't surprise me that he'd pick Catalina. It's very good for mine drops.
Oh, there we go. He's in chat. He's saying he forgot 8 mines and 6 medevacs at a bad rally point, so that's why.
Ah.
And the undermade Vikings, yeah. Alright, so here's step 2. We have Monk spawning in as the Teal Terran on the bottom right of Catalina.
We have Zale spawning in the left side of the map. Yeah, I'm thinking we're probably going to see mines again.
Yeah, Monk seems to favour his 2-base-ish aggression. I guess I should swap the scenes over. And you didn't miss much.
Uh-oh.
Now it's like a Legacy of the Void game, guys. Look, they spawn and they make depots.
Overlay. There you go.
But I mean, it's approaching 2 a.m. I'm just running on passion now, so yeah, mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made.
You're reckoning mine drops again. It worked well last game, even with Zale opening defensive blink and Colossus and cannons. It still got a reasonable amount of damage done and didn't put Monk behind. Arguably put him ahead. So
I mean, I would say where Expedition Lost is kind of tricky to get the drop in, especially with a Protoss researching Blink, as a Catalina is better for getting the drops in because you can come from all kinds of fun directions. And Zale has to be aware of all of those.
yeah, it's gonna be. We might even see Zale open up Phoenixes just because if he thinks he's gonna get dropped a lot, he'll do a Stargate opener. Say, please drop into my Phoenixes. I want you to drop me.
I mean, Phoenix, sure, but if you're gonna go Stargate against Terran, why go Phoenix when you can just make an Oracle and
Okay, alright, you make the Oracle first, and then you make Phoenixes.
I'm not bitter about Oracles.
Yeah. Cybernetics core now going down for Zale. Still lost on the 1 gas, so no fast Oracles. You don't have to be bitter this game.
There's no reason to be sad yet.
Yet. Keyword yet. Reaper coming out now for Monks, so he will be looking to scout around, see what's up. Sadly, his SEV does go the wrong way. He is bad at coin flipping. He's to improve on that, but not going to be getting the fast scout on whether Zale has gotten those 2 gas going down, the 1 gas, how many pylons are in his base. There is absolutely nothing over here.
Oh, it looks like Zale is hiding the probe, maybe waiting for the Reaper to leave. And
I
they're
would
going to
guess you're right.
just barely miss each other. Very sneaky probe.
Yep, that knowing Zale, that's probably intentional, so good call there. As he does get in, sees, okay, you're building a reactor, that means there was a Reaper first, and you're still mining gas, so there's the potential of a fast factory. Normally you pull out of the gas if you're going to be adding those extra 2-3 racks, or maybe a fast CC.
Yep. And I think this probe is going to see the factory go down. Yep.
So, okay, he's thinking it's the same build as last game, so he'll probably prepare a little bit better than he did the last game. I think he prepared fine, to be honest, but maybe have Stalkers in a bit better position. Split the Observers up, because I remember one of that was that one mine drop where both Observers followed it, and the second mine went into the main and got a reasonable hit off.
I mean, it could have just been the Observer buddy system.
That's true, actually, because splash damage does kill the Observer. Even if you can't see it. But yeah, it will be the Robo before the Twilight Council this game, so a little bit better intel.
Let's see, is it gonna...
Don't mind yet.
No,
Might flop it over and get some Hellions. Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're gonna... Oh, this might... Yeah, this might be Hellions instead of the mine. Be a little bit of a fake out.
Yeah, that's a nice little mind game there coming out from Monk. I do know, having tried Hellion drops against Zale, though, that it doesn't really work. He is really exceptional at splitting probes. He spent like a week learning how to split probes after I Hellion dropped him. It doesn't work anymore, so I don't bother doing it. That being said, though, these might just be rallied just to go do damage at the front, in which case I think this is going to be a lot more damaging. Hellions at the front with a Marine drop in the back. It's probably a Maru build, to be honest. It feels pretty Maru-y.
Sounds like something Mara might do, but Pro League is kind of during my bedtime.
I mean, the most recent Maru game was literally 5-rack Reaper against Zerg.
Overcharge is forced immediately, so if anything, the Hellions have proven useful.
They killed 1 probe, they got the overcharge forced, and they saw 2 gases just being built, finishing up at the 7-minute mark in the natural. He's already seen 2 gases in the main, so he knows that he's not going to be dealing with any kind of super fast gateway timing, a la MC, I guess. Some nice intel.
Robobay and an additional gateway going down, so we are going to see some pretty fast Colossi.
Yeah. Veil Stalkers are well positioned in the back to prevent a drop, but that means there's absolutely nothing at the front to defend when these Hellions come back. So I think this is going to be the pressure that Monk wanted to get in.
Yeah,
These
and
Hellions
there's
are completely...
no overcharge.
Oh no, this is going to be a massacre. Oh, here's the probe split. I mean, probe split is good, as I predicted, but there's still nothing to stop the Hellions from killing all the probes anyway. This is unfortunate. He's forced to keep the Stalkers back in the main because he saw the medevac there.